Thanksgiving.
Welcome to What's the Message, where we talk with you about whatever is going on in the world and we try to give you the hope in the headline. This is our special Thanksgiving Day celebration podcast. I am your host, Claudia Allen, and this is my co-host, my friend, my partner, my boss, Carmela Monk
I was supposed
Crawford.
to say my name, Carmela Monk Crawford.
Yes.
I didn't know.
That's okay.
I thought they would do that for us.
I got
Sorry.
you.
Okay.
And so today we are coming to you and we want to just give it to you real right now in your living room. It is Thanksgiving Day. Carmela, what are the 5 things you should not do today?
Yeah. Number 1, do not take something to the potluck that you have not tried out before. Let's just talk about that, people. Can we? We're going to need you to vet all recipes.
All recipes.
All right. If
Yeah.
you're a guest to someone's house, I don't know what it is that you're doing, but I need you to do that. That's number 5. Okay.
That's number 5.
All right.
Okay. So do not bring anything to Mama and them's, Auntie and them, friends. Don't bring nothing you ain't tried already.
Yeah. Let's just make sure that we have that together.
Okay.
Then number 4. What I would say is number 4 is beware of the conversations that you're entertaining.
Mercy.
All right. And this is not the time to rehash
Mercy.
old family conflicts.
Okay.
Today is not the day to bring out those painful memories.
My Lord.
All right. Bring out the photo album. If you must bring out the photo album, but let's look at precious memories.
Precious memories.
Does that make any sense?
Okay. Now, just so I'm clear, I feel like maybe we need to specify, because what if, that one time when, you was sleeping and I saw a bug crawling on your face when you was a kid. What if that is a precious memory to me? It traumatized you, but what if it's a precious memory to me? Don't bring that.
Don't bring up anything where you hurt people's feelings or they hurt your feelings.
Right.
This is like after Thanksgiving. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's just get through the meal now.
Okay.
Let's just get through the meal. All right.
Yeah.
3, do not come unprepared with things for the whole family.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
The children, we're going to be cooking. We're going to be doing stuff all day. You need to bring the Jenga. You need to bring the Monopoly. You need to bring everything so that people have stuff to do and the kids aren't getting spanked on Thanksgiving.
I see.
I'm just trying to be a blessing for somebody right now.
No.
You don't want to have to come in here and deal with this. And so that's number 3.
I peeped the blessing. Make sure that there are no idle hands in the house.
Yes.
Basically.
Everybody, see, that reminds me of my mother's family. My mother grew up, she had, there was 10 girls and 2 boys.
Mercy.
And when they get in the kitchen, even now, my aunts are starting to get gray hair and everything like this. And a lot of them, when they get into the kitchen, everybody can cook.
Yeah.
Everybody can cook, right?
Yeah.
But I remember one time we got together and there's 3 or 4 aunts in the kitchen. My mother, we're all in here doing stuff together. And one aunt was like, I don't have a pot. Give me a pot. I want to do something. I want to do it. And she kept saying it and everybody's going, and so doing their own thing. Aunt says, I don't have a pot. Finally, the other aunt turned around and she gave her a pot with a bag of carrots. And she says, do it. And she's, so she's standing there with the pot and she's made a nice glazed carrot. My point is, everybody gets involved.
Yes,
everybody helps. Everybody participates. All right. That's how you can avoid some problems.
That's how we can. Okay. So if we've got full participation, then that means everybody is happy. Okay, Carmela, what's number 2?
All right. This is not a don't. This is a do.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That's okay.
I changed. Bring a good soundtrack.
Interesting. I would have never thought that was going to be on your list.
Bring a good soundtrack, because good music lays the foundation for a beautiful day. What would be on your soundtrack? What's a good
Oh,
family get together? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
good
need some
family
good
get-together
family
music.
get together music where you can break away for a little bit,
Yeah.
and hug on your loved ones and love on them. You know, everything. Then get back to the food and enjoy yourself, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like any track that gets everybody singing is a good track. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm thinking, Kurt Franklin that's my homie, that's my friend. I love
Kurt Franklin.
any and all things Kurt Franklin. I feel like if you put on some melodies from heaven,
Yes.
some Jesus is the reason in preparation for Christmas,
that's
get
perfect.
everybody singing,
Yes.
laughing, then I'm
Now
with you. I think that's
behold
great.
the Lamb.
Now behold the Lamb.
I got goosebumps. That's what I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Put that soundtrack together and that beautiful ambiance is filling the room, right?
Yeah.
Now, the top 10 thing not to do
Yeah.
is don't walk into that thing with an attitude
My Lord.
of ungratefulness.
My Lord.
Whatever is going on,
Yeah.
put it aside. Now, here's the thing. Ungratefulness spreads all over everything.
Yeah.
If your mind, and this is my pet peeve,
Yeah.
people leave the dinner table on Thanksgiving to go hit a Black Friday sale. That to me, am I crazy? Okay, the TV is calling your name.
Yeah.
The 55-inch.
Yeah.
All right. All
55 inches for $35.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And and I agree. It's a good deal and everything like this.
Yeah.
But we got to savor the moment and stop trying to rush through these times in which we can come together, not only think within ourselves and spiritually think about what God has done for us, how he's blessed our family, how he even gave us food to eat and a soundtrack to listen to and games to play and wealth and health and all that sort of thing. But people want to stop and they want to get more and get more, which after the holidays, you're just in debt.
So maybe another for what you're saying is that maybe families should actually go around and say what they're thankful for.
Well, they do that in my family. They do that in yours?
No.
I
gotta be honest. I thought about lying there for a second, Saints. No, we actually don't do that. No.
What's your?
I mean, we play a lot of games.
Okay.
Yeah, like we'll come together and like we'll definitely play games. My family definitely is another family of cooks.
Okay.
And so there's, potentially a lot of people in the kitchen. And then we do have like a family of singers. And so sometimes like my grandmother may ask for like people to just sing. My mom and her sisters, they used to be in a group together. So they would sing these kind of old church songs that only like 3 or 4 of them know. And the rest of us are kind of just sitting there watching them. And so, we definitely have moments like that where we kind of gather together and we either just sing, laugh. People in my family are amazing storytellers, amazing comedians. So they just have a way of just telling stories to make you crack up laughing.
This is what I'm talking about. Because, I know so many people, when it's time for the holidays to come, I have my own trepidations.
Yeah.
I have my own trepidations. And, you do have memories. You got the ideas and the thoughts of loss. You have the ideas and the thoughts of what we wish was different and what we wish was better. And that can make it so that the holidays are an extension of our pain instead of a way to springboard from that into something good.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really great point. Like how can you kind of like be grateful or be thankful for something when, there's a lot of pain? Like if you're going into a holiday knowing that maybe a particular person isn't going to be there anymore, or, you're going into the holiday, thinking about, something traumatic that's happened or something tragic that's happened. How does a person even remain grateful and come in without that attitude that you said?
Oh my goodness. Well, and that, and that's, I think, if in a perfect world I had my way, it would be that kind of thing where you could just at that front door, you drop your stuff.
Yeah.
Drop the coat, drop the bags, drop everything. And with that first hug, back in the day, they used to have a holiday time at Christmas, the mistletoe at the door.
Yeah.
And I don't know the origin of that and everything like this, but just imagine if when the family comes to the door, you hug them and you kiss them, and for that the next few hours or whatever, boom, all that stuff goes away. I know that's kind of romantic on my side. I know. I'm one of these people. I always like beautiful holidays. I always wanted that. I can't say that it was always like that.
No,
As
I
a
hear
child,
you.
even in my own life, especially years before when I was single and by
Yeah.
myself, and there have been some Thanksgivings that I had to work and I was away from
Yeah.
my family, and I'm holding my own hand.
Yeah. I feel
that
you.
makes the times when you got friends and loved ones around you,
Yeah.
it's that much better. you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I think there's something to even what you're saying in the sense that, like, what if, we as family members, worked hard to try to create safe spaces and happy spaces so that, when our loved ones come back in town, or when we all kind of go to that one location that we all kind of choose to meet up at, that, it's a spirit of welcome. Like, it's a spirit of like, hey, you know what? We're not carrying any of this stuff from the year. We're not holding on to any of this stuff. There's no jealousy. There's no bitterness. There's no resentfulness. Like, like we're going into it saying, hey, what if we just try to forgive and forget and just say, if for no more than just a 24-hour period, we just try to have a good time together,
I'm saying this and I'm talking up a good game, but right now I'm thinking of some situations in my own life that I'm thinking maybe we need to scratch and scrap this whole thing right now because we have our own issues and people we need to be calling right now. Okay, wait a minute. But no, I'm gonna endeavor to try. Maybe we should have a recap after this is over.
See how it went.
See if there's actually any bloodlet or there is any, cussing and anything like that.
Carmela, you are talking as though you have been to Pucker Street. And I just feel like I have not told you any stories of my family life. And you are just coming and stepping on every single toe right now.
That is the family. I was looking at, I remember your notes were saying, the idea of dysfunctional families. And the thing is, the family is the family. We have the Olivers write for us here at Message and our relationship RX. And the whole idea is, here's a prescription for your relationship that's, not well. But, they talk about everybody's family got stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody has stuff, and I think maybe that's part of the situation when you feel you're alone in the pains and the kinds of tragedies or the kinds of human frailties that manifest themselves in your family members. So, and we don't talk about, that kind of breakdown from one family to the next. We keep it within ourselves. We hold that pain onto ourselves. Yeah. Maybe we're embarrassed, or maybe it is, it's the kind of thing that is embarrassing. Yeah. So, I've had, stuff. And so, like, I feel like I'm tracing all of my steps. I still stand by my top 5.
I stand by your top 5 as well.
I stand by it.
I think that there is power and there's healing in your top 5. I really do. The moment you gave the top 5, I immediately was like, maybe I should try and bring that even, to my own family and see like if that softens the atmosphere or, makes Thanksgiving just even more special. You know what I mean? Because I think you're absolutely right. I feel like all of us, and the crazy thing is that every single person perceives life in their own way, right? Because to be quite fair, you're the hero in your story.
Yeah, well, I am.
I'm right. I'm the hero in my story, and everybody else is an extra, right? And so it's like, you're always going to perceive that either you are the hero or the victim. You never, ever kind of look at yourself and say, man, I'm being the villain right now.
Or this is my part.
Or this is the part that I play in the dysfunction and in the brokenness. And here are the areas that I have to change and places where I have to fix. Instead of, I feel like so many times we come to Thanksgiving with certain people in our mind of like, they're the problem and it's their brokenness and it's their trauma and they need to fix them. And that's not necessarily incorrect. Like there very well may be some people in our families, in our extended families, that like need some stuff. However, you very well might need some stuff too. You know what I mean? Like I might need some stuff too. Like I might need to work out my own stuff to make sure that I'm also coming to the family with a right spirit as well. And I'm doing everything, you know, in my power that I'm capable and possible of doing to make sure everybody has a good time too, you know, rather than assuming I'm always right or I'm always good. I never do anything bad.
You saying that, I'm thinking to myself, what? I know this is the wrong question to ask first, but I'm like, well, how would Dr. Phil be at the family situation? What would he, what would he say?
Yeah.
What would he call on the carpet? But then, you don't have to go back. If you're a Christian, you don't have to go to Dr. Phil. You think of, what would Jesus do?
Yeah.
Around the table with people who were jealous, betraying friends. What would Jesus do with people who were spiritual, people who were not? Oh, we do know what Jesus would do. Do we not? Do we not? Do we not know what Jesus would do around the table with people who had it out for him? We do know, don't we?
That's good, Carmela. Yeah.
That's the spirit.
No, really, that's good. We do know he would break bread.
Yes.
Like the Last Supper was literally about him coming together with his family, those 12 disciples, and being in the same space as someone who he knew was going to betray him. And in spite of knowing that Judas was going to betray him, he still broke bread and he still shared that cup because they didn't have individual cups.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They was drinking, they was sipping from the same juice. He drank up.
Wait, and don't drink my juice.
Don't drink my juice now.
Oh, sorry.
This is not first century Palestine. Don't drink my juice now, okay?
Making light of the Last Supper. I'm sorry.
But
no,
but yeah, you know what I mean?
We do know. We do know. And in our human frailty, it's not easy to overcome those bad situations that.
Why do we do that? Like, why is it that we're coming in with a need to defend ourselves? Like, is it a survival mechanism? Is this a defense mechanism? Why do we do this? Why do we come home with like armor on? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I can't say that this is for everybody's family, and I know I don't necessarily come home like this, but I'm sure there are some people that it's like when they come home, it's like they put the breastplate on and the helmet on. They grab the shield and the sword like they're about to go into battle with their family.
That's because they know what their family is capable of saying. Every time you walk around, somebody's going to come out the side of their neck with something about, you this, you that. Look how big you've gotten. Oh, those kids of yours, look at their, the way they act. Or, where have you been? Hadn't seen you in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Or, just something. And it doesn't have to always be like that. And I, praise God, I've been in and among my own family of origin and my in-laws, in which we've shared some beautiful meals. But I also know within my family, as I'm sure with yours and anybody else, that, there are some painful situations, and that when you come together, revisiting those things in your heart and in your head is a new injury that happens right then and there every time you see that person. And the question is, how do I get around that? How do I get around that?
Man, that's real. I mean, to be quite honest, I do feel like we need to talk very openly and honestly with our families just about mental health and about therapy. Just because I do feel like what you're talking about is real, right? Like, even if you have not injured me recently, you could have injured me 20 years ago. But because there is no real resolution to the injury, and because there's been no real dialogue about it, it's like stab, and now we're going to pretend like I'm not bleeding. And so then every single time I come around you, now I've got like old blood, I've got this scar. But every time I come around you, I'm going to remember that you stabbed me, and I'm going to remember what that felt like. And so it's almost like that wound gets reopened because it was never properly healed to begin with. And so I think one of the first ways that we work to kind of move beyond that is to just encourage one another to go to therapy. Like I just feel like it's so taboo, like in African American communities in particular, where it's just like, oh, nah, we don't do that. No, it's fine. No, listen, that's just how she is. That's just what he does. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like everyone always, that's just their personality, right? And so it's like we always come up with these rationalizations or we over spiritualize. Well, so-and-so hasn't been to church in a while. And so-and-so just, they just need to choose the Lord one good time. And so it's like, we either over spiritualize things or we try to rationalize and throw things to the wayside. And it's like, no, like people are dealing with real emotions and real brokenness and real traumas. And you legit hurt me, like full stop. You legit hurt me. And just because you said I'm sorry doesn't mean that wound has healed. And so I saw this quote online that said, "It is not my fault that you hurt me, but it is my responsibility to heal."
Oh, I saw that.
And so it's like, you were tripe, you hurt me, you cut me, but I now need to do the work of going to therapy, talking to someone, and making sure that I heal properly so that I'm not leaving the space and hurting others in the process.
Too bad this is not airing or coming through on the day before Thanksgiving or a week before Thanksgiving, because by the time we show up, it's going to be too late for that.
You're right.
It's going to be a little too late.
Maybe we'll put it up on Wednesday.
Can we?
We'll drop this the day before.
Can we uninvite the people who cause us pain if they're family?
Ooh.
She went into turtle mode.
I'm in my turtleneck, Saints. I'm in my. Can we uninvite, or can we not invite the people that hurt us to family functions? That is the question, Carmela. Can we not invite people to functions that hurt us? I think I think it's mixed. I'm going to be real. Because I know my family is going to watch this.
Mine too.
So I know my family is going to watch this. And I know the one thing that I have learned from my family is, or one value that I feel like my family has is, just like you said, family is family. And so like we definitely kind of operate under this kind of thinking that like blood runs thicker than water. And so regardless of what happens, regardless of who did what, we just kind of were raised and kind of operate under the thinking that your family has what's best for you at all times. And so even if there's been like some wrongdoing, you still privilege and prioritize them over anybody else. And I think the reason why I reacted the way that I did is because I thought about that worldview, like with my family. And then I began to think, is that a healthy way of operating?
With that worldview.
Because it's like, well, if what is happening is like abusive or toxic, or like, as my friend Cassandra would say, maladaptive.
Ooh.
Listen, the psych people. Maladaptive.
We need a little word on it. Maladaptive. How does that work? Okay, go ahead.
Then is it really okay for me to just excuse this and say, yeah, no, you're welcome into my space all of the time, no matter the physical or emotional or psychological or even spiritual damage that you cause, simply because we're blood and you deserve and have a right to my space simply because we are blood. What you think?
I don't believe that.
Tell me more.
I don't believe that, but I'm struggling and I'm conflicted.
Yeah.
But, and not even just blood, but, family, whether, we're
family,
we're talking,
friends.
In-laws, or just, people that you have a long history of. And it's like, do we still do this? I don't think that when we're talking abuse, a long-term abuse or, serious, but, I'm not, I'm not talking about somebody who gets on your nerves so bad that you think they're
Correct.
but I'm talking about abuse. And it's like, no, that this doesn't have to happen every year. And this all goes to the idea of, does the tradition override what the meaning is supposed to be, right? If we're coming together for a day of Thanksgiving and this is what we're going to do together, do my traditions get in the way of actual observance or actual healing? And so, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you do with that. I'm sure maybe somebody will give us some ideas that we can think about, and maybe there's different parts of the day that we can have where we spend the morning at the homeless shelter or the afternoon at the homeless shelter giving out, food or whatever. And maybe the afternoons with some games and music or different things, maybe just a sort of a different play on Thanksgiving that does not prime us all for, a conflict.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
No. I think that makes perfect sense. And even as you were talking, I was trying to think through, how do you have conversations with, particularly when you have families and as a family, you have all kind of believed one particular way for a long period of time, or everyone in the family is predominantly of one particular religion. And then, kind of there's this shift now with kind of like the grandkids or like my generation and after us who have either left that religion behind or have modified it in interesting ways. And so we just don't hold on to the things and the thoughts of our parents. I'm wondering, like how does one reconcile that? Because it's like I can completely understand, like the boomers in the room, or just the parents in the room, the aunties, the uncles, all of those people who kind of see, their nieces, their nephews, their kids, either like not in church or kind of drifting away from the way they were raised, and just feeling that burden of like, man, like I just want my child to be saved. I really want my child to have a relationship with God. But then like on the flip side, I also kind of understand, kind of like the young person's perspective in the sense that they don't feel as though they're lost to begin with. And so it's kind of like, hey, no, like I'm critically thinking about this. I'm trying to understand like, what is it that I even believe in? What is my place in it? And so it's like, how can these two have a conversation that does not erupt into, an all-out, I guess, spiritual war around the dinner table, around somebody's soul, you know what I mean?
That's interesting. And I think, that's one of the things about all of our traditions, especially, when it comes down to the holidays and the whole thing revolves around the food that we're eating.
Yeah.
Instead of the service that we could render, which I think that if we were involved in stuff that was more outward facing, the chances for interpersonal conflict or pain could be lessened. You know what I'm saying?
Point.
I'm not sitting here and it's not about us, especially like at Christmas. This is not about us. It's not about what we want. And it's not about how much money we spend. In fact, those things are the things that lead to the conflict. You're sitting there, you're unwrapping. So as a mom, you're sitting there and the whole thing is beautiful. There's presents everywhere, and it is just cha-ching, cha-ching. You're looking all around, you can see all that, and everything is there. That stress is in the back of your mind, or just a performance for a meal. Those things, the anxiety that comes from making sure that the house is the way it needs to be, that it looks the way it's supposed to be, that it's clean, and that all your food is going to be, it's a performance. This is not a performance. This is an opportunity to break bread. So how much is our conflict lessened if we invited neighbors that we don't know and would be embarrassed to act up in front of? You know what I mean? How, we could probably change this script.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was just thinking about that because so often with message, we talk about sharing what we have.
Yeah.
And, we always talk about the food that we have. It would be great to, I've talked to Donna about this several times. I would love to have a product like a guide, what to take to somebody, what to take to somebody when somebody dies.
Oh,
What
wow.
to take
Yeah.
to some, that's an old school art that a younger generation of women or women like me that used to cook that don't cook anymore, kind of losing the shine on it. So it's like what to take to different people. I was just reading a book recently that talks about how you go to somebody's house and eat their food. Eat their food. I mean, this is the era in which to experience somebody else's life and culture from their perspective.
Right.
So even if we didn't have people over, what about at 5:00? We hit up our neighbors. We'll be like, how y'all doing? Happy Thanksgiving. I brought over some extra rolls. And you went over and sat down at somebody else's house. Does that sound crazy?
You sound real crazy right now. There's this one comedian who I absolutely love named Sebastian Maniscalco. And one of his old bits or one of his earlier bits, he talks about the difference between how there was a day when we used to have company.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Like there was a day where, you could just be in the neighborhood driving by and you could knock on the door. People are going to pleasantly come to the door, open it, welcome you, and you're going to take your shoes off. You're going to relax. You're going to talk. You're going to lose time. You're going to be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you're here. And he's like, now.
Not no more.
Now,
No.
if somebody random comes and knocks on your door, everybody's like, get down. Who is it? Turn off the lights. Turn off the music. Don't nobody go to the window. Why can I see you walking across the floor? It's like everybody is constantly like, pretend you're not here.
Yeah.
And so that's literally what came through my mind when you said, let's go knock on the neighbor's door or let's welcome the neighbors in. I just saw my own family, I don't want to see and talk to nobody. I don't know. And then on top of that, we don't actually want to go because then if I go and I knock on your door, you're going to pretend I'm not there or be scared or not welcome me in.
This is what I'm saying. Okay, so now our lives are all about our own little circles and our own little customs and traditions, our own families. And that's why the pain and stuff erupts, okay? Because it's me and I know where you're coming from. I know what you're going to say. This same conversation jumps off every year. And then people start to move their fingernails in their heads and stuff like that. I'm tired of your mouth and all that kind of stuff. You know how it goes down. But what if for once you knock on somebody else's door and you take them something and you sit down and see, and I always say this, but I really believe this is the era to do it. I mean, come on, we're in the era of Uber and Lyft, where you can go and get in somebody else's car, they entertain you, they take you where you need to go. The era of Airbnb and VRBO, where you go to somebody else's house, they've cleaned up and you pay them to stay in their house. I read this book. No, I didn't read this book. It was a guy who wrote a book about how, this is so funny to me. He decided he was going to take 1 year and he was going to spend the night at each one of his neighbor's house. He decided not that they're going to invite him.
He didn't have this conversation with his neighbors prior.
No. And he did. And he's like, this is how I got to know them. I spent time and everything like this.
Wait, they let him in?
Yes, they did. They let him in.
Yo.
And so he came in and they spent the night and they talked. I mean, come on. Where does this happen anymore?
Yeah.
Now, my husband and I, we've gone and we've met our neighbors. And a couple of the neighbors, there's a couple from Pakistan.
Yeah.
And they live right near us. And we went over to take them some mangoes once.
Mm-hmm.
They invited us into the house. It's Friday night. Come on in, sit down. Do you want something to eat? Boom, ticket. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's like the minute you break bread with somebody else and they offer you from what they have from their culture and from their stores. Now we're having a conversation. Now this is a meeting of the minds and a meeting of our hearts. Now this is beyond mere tradition. This actually mirrors the so-called Thanksgiving myth that we all grew up on,
Right.
Which the Pilgrims and the Native
yeah.
Americans, right? Which didn't completely, not at all. But that should be the tradition.
Right.
Across the street from me, we have a couple from Nigeria. We took them some mangoes and they came to our house.
Wow.
A couple of days later on. Thank you for bringing the mangoes. Mangoes were invented in our country. That's what they said.
Wow.
They're like, because we have the saying, mango, so easy to grow. You put it in the ground, mango, you come back and it's there. That's what he said. I kid you not. It's hilarious.
That's great.
But all I'm saying is that, for people to come and share in a different way, I think the holidays could feel different.
No, I think that's
weird, but
no,
crazy,
it's so powerful though, because even as you're talking, I'm thinking, man, like that's basically kind of like what message is all about, is sharing. And so it's like, how can we better share the gospel? How can we better share stories? How can we better share experiences with people? And so that's why we just want to invite you to visit our website at www.messagemagazine.com. Make sure you are subscribed to the magazine. Make sure you've got the latest issue. Make sure you are up to date reading our online articles. Make sure you are following us on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram and Twitter at Message1898. And don't just get this good food or this good content or this good stuff for you, but get it and share it with somebody else. That's what we want to do. And you can actually go to our website and you can share message with someone who's currently incarcerated. And so that's just something that maybe you can think about doing with your families over Thanksgiving holiday. How can I share message with my neighbors? How can I share message with someone who's incarcerated? How can I be of service to someone who maybe I don't come in contact with on a consistent basis, But as you were talking about that, I was just thinking there's just so much power and real healing that I feel like can happen in families, just like you're saying, if they took the opportunity to take the gaze off of themselves and put it onto somebody else. And it's like, what if for one day we just said, hey, yeah, we're going to get together, we're going to laugh, we're going to eat, we're going to serve one another and enjoy one another's company. But before ish goes down, because we've been together too long.
Because we know.
What if we got out the house?
Yeah.
And what if we did some good to somebody else?
Yeah.
So it's like serving, like off the top of my head, I'm thinking, you can serve at a homeless shelter. You can, what if the family gathered together, like some coats or, warm, because I'm from Michigan. So, it's cold wherever you are in Michigan. And so it's like, what if we, just gathered scarves and socks and or hygiene products and gave those to homeless people and things like that. Like the moment you take the focus off of yourself and you put it onto the needs of someone else, I feel like you immediately realize that, like that inappropriate comment you made about me or, the fact that you didn't like my social media pictures or you didn't support me in this one program or whatever, you feel like a person did to you, right? It just kind of goes away.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're not thinking about it anymore. Because at that point, it's like, man, I see that there's someone who is significantly less fortunate than I am. And so it's like whatever beef, current or old, that I have with you, like immediately becomes insignificant.
Oh, yeah. I'm feeling like a challenge coming on.
Mercy.
I'm feeling the challenge. I think.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'm not going to say anybody go over and say, can I spend the night at your house?
No.
But, we're not doing that. Okay, I'm not.
Don't say we said that at Message.
and I'm not going to be legally responsible.
We're
for that,
not
okay?
legally responsible.
But what if, we posted hashtag either Message Magazine, and show us your family posing with your neighbor's family. for Thanksgiving.
That's a great challenge.
That would be
mad
right?
fun.
Yeah, just post it on and let us see you showing your love. I don't know if you want to take a little bit of cranberry sauce, and they want to give me be like, hey, you got an extra carton of eggnog? Thank you. Okay, whatever. Let's see what can happen. I just think that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
You know?
And maybe if you bring like a little gift, you just want to say, hey, happy Thanksgiving. Just wanted to say hello, greetings from our family to yours, and see if they'll snap a picture with you.
I know a couple of years ago, I decided, when I first became vegan, I made some sweet potato pies. I can't remember if they were vegan or if I didn't put as much sugar in it. I can't remember. But I took them around to my neighbors. Not one person said anything later on. I don't think they were good. Which goes back to the whole.
That goes back to
before
number 5.
you take something, you need to vet it, okay? Not one neighbor said, in fact, after they saw me, they're like, so anyway.
No, but that's good. So then that leads us to, I think, probably the most important aspect of Thanksgiving, which is the food, Carmela.
Oh, I thought you were going to say actual Thanksgiving.
No. The
food.
Food,
Help her,
Carmela.
Lord.
The
Yes.
food. I'm not all the way saved, okay? This is only partial.
When you see us bring oil for her.
Yes.
Anyway, so
what are your favorite Thanksgiving dishes, Carmela?
Well, see, now that I'm plant-based,
Yes.
Because, the turkey was always a central figure.
Absolutely.
And then when we were vegetarian in the old-fashioned sense, my mother would take the vegetarian chicken or turkey loaf, hollow that dude out, and put the stuffing in it, and then put your thing. And then I know people, old school vegetarian. It's like all this new so-called plant-based meats that is so new. So old. I've known people who've made their so-called like a wheat meat out of gluten.
Oh wow!
And put a glaze on that dude and shape it like a like a turkey. We never went that far. So now, my big thing is to really do up the veggies.
Okay.
So I've just now started liking Brussels sprouts. I hated them as a child. Brussels sprouts. I like a good. In fact, I made a nice butternut squash soup a couple of weeks ago with some good cornbread.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And I had a pie with a beautiful, they have a coconut whipped cream, like Ready Whip where you zzz, like that, They have that with coconut coconut base instead of dairy base. And so stuff like I'm in a phase. I can't really say what my favorites are. I'm just in a phase of trying new things. But I'm gonna tell you one nice Thanksgiving dessert. Shout out to my friend Alva James Johnson, who you might have saw at Southern a few weeks ago.
Maybe.
She taught me how to make this beautiful ambrosia. So taking your fruit salad, and then she would cut up some star fruit and all these other fruit, apples and stuff. And that thing, she would put the sweetened condensed milk with the cream cheese and the sour cream. Put those dairy in the blender. And throw some nutmeg in there. Then put all the fruits. And then you put that on the table in a nice little crystal glass or whatever. I sound like Lynn Rosetta Castro. What's her name? On The Splendid Table. I wish I could talk like her. Every food sounded delicious. And so anyway, those are the kinds of things that used to be my favorite. What about you?
Man, I love a good pot of collard greens. I just feel like
collard greens.
I love a good pot of collard greens.
Can you make collard greens, Claudia?
Absolutely.
What's your secret?
If it was not a secret.
Oh, come on. I just told you how to make the ambrosia.
Ambrosia is not as special as collard greens.
Collard greens.
No, but one thing I will tell you that I learned from my grandmother, a good collard greens cooking secret is you must season the water.
Hello.
If you do not season the water before you put the leaves into the pot,
say it.
then the collard greens do not come out the way they are supposed to. You do not season collard green leaves, saints of the Most High. You season collard green water, okay?
Season the water.
So I am a huge collard green fan, as you can tell. I also absolutely love my mother's pot roast. And I have, as of recently, mastered my mother's pot roast. As you can tell from this episode and the previous one, I do still eat from the flesh pots of Egypt. I love some good beef and some good chicken. And I absolutely love the main star, the turkey.
The turkey.
Now, my aunt does a mean turkey.
Does she fry it or does she?
No.
She roasts it.
She roasts that joint. Now, my cousins have let me know that there is a chance that the legendary cooks, my mother, my aunt, and my grandmother, may not be desiring to cook this year.
Is it on y'all? Tag?
It might
They're gonna
be
tag you in?
on us this year season. And all I'm saying is that I'm ready. I'm
You sound
ready.
like you're ready.
I'm coming back to Michigan, ready for the torch. If all they have to do is give it, like they just have to give it, your girl is ready for it. Okay. Now I have another cousin who does a mean mac and cheese. So we are praying that she comes.
She needs to be there.
She needs to be present and accounted for to do the mean mac and cheese. Another cousin does a mean sweet potatoes. You know, candied. Diabetes, sugar, sweet potatoes.
Oh, do not encourage
We're
the
not
diabetes
talking.
sweet potato.
Now, okay, yes, because we are Message Magazine and we are plant-based. My mother does a very nice, healthy sweet potato. Okay.
Did you see that on Facebook? I saw
What?
this video, this woman making candied sweet potatoes. She has this ginormous 10-pound bag of white sugar. And she's got sweet potatoes cut up. And she's just like... And by the time she gets to the third pan, the 10 pounds is gone. All the sugar. And people, you know, it's like all of us who are looking at it, we all know we've eaten sweet potatoes like that.
Yes.
And we like them like that.
Absolutely.
But just to watch her make it, we're all ashamed. Like,
listen, the amount of sugar.
Don't show nobody.
Don't show
That's
nobody.
how we do that.
Right. Don't show nobody there's that much butter. There's that much sugar. Listen, it's syrup. That's real. It's real. Don't tell nobody about it. But yeah, man, I just feel like Thanksgiving isn't the same if you don't eat the food and then immediately take a nap. It's not even about wanting to take a nap. It's about you ate the last bite and your body can no longer remain awake because the food is so heavy. You are in a coma. Now, my family have redeemed. Like they've tried to, you know, my mom, my aunt, you know, they are really on, you know, trying to be healthier for the family. And so it's like, bake the sweet potato. My mom, you know, baked the sweet potato. And she puts like some pineapples on and pineapple juice. Natural sugars. Wonderful. You know, my aunt will bring in the brown rice. You know what I mean?
I still don't
you know,
like
trying to be healthier. You know what I mean? And so I definitely respect them for that. I'm personally not here for it.
Oh my Lord.
I would just personally like to, you know, just come on home, get a good sugar coma.
That's why we're saying if you plan the day out ahead of time,
Yeah.
then you realize that you have no time for sugar comas.
You're right. You're absolutely
You don't
right.
have time for now. See, don't get mad at me, all right? I'm saying do what you need to do.
Yeah.
But let's just, you know, people are gonna be like, I hate you, Carmela. Because
No, see, this is why we do the show together, because Carmela's going to give you the good, plant-based, healthy stuff, and your girl over here is going to give it to you sugary.
And I'm in that
And
catch-22 because I have children who are away at school. When
Yeah.
they come home, they're not trying to hear
They don't want no Brussels sprouts.
healthy Brussels sprouts. Not trying to hear no vegan anything. So anyway, we try to make the balance. My husband and I try to make that balance. And,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, but the beautiful thing I think I don't care what the food
Yeah.
is that we'll be together.
That's the most beautiful. Which
You know?
leads us to, Carmela, what are you grateful for?
What am I? Oh, my family, definitely.
Yeah.
My family and all that God has done, you know, and I know you've gone through this. This has been a year in which, you know, we crisscrossed the country up in the air so many times. I thank God every time they say, welcome to Baltimore.
Right.
You know,
Oh,
you're
my
on the
goodness,
ground.
yes.
You know, thank you for flying with us because it didn't have to be like this. Every time
Yeah.
you get home, just the simple thing of being, you know, God's protection and mercy the love and warmth of my family.
Yeah.
And all of his blessings that attend to you guys. This crew here, the bakers,
Yeah.
and Claudia. This is a blessing to us at Message and a blessing to me. So, what can I say?
Yeah. No, I have to agree with you. I think I'm definitely grateful for, I'd say like I feel like I have two families. So I have like my blood family, and I absolutely love and miss them because, like I said before, they are hilarious. Like, people think I'm funny. Nah, you just ain't been to Pucker Street. They are hilarious. And so I definitely miss and love them. I'm super grateful for them. But then like I also have what I call my family, which are like friends that are family, and so it's like sometimes you have the family that God gives you, and then you have the family that you get to make yourself, the friends and family that you choose. And our family's name is the Negas.
Family name. Oh my goodness.
So, shout out to the Negas family. No. I'm grateful for them. Super grateful for my boyfriend. He's great.
He is so nice. You all are cute.
Thanks. He's really supportive, and so really grateful for that. And I just feel like God is just really blessed. Like, he's giving me like a lot of really amazing opportunities this year.
Yes. Amen.
One being the opportunity to work with Message and with you.
That's our blessing.
And so it's been a great ride. Like, I've had so much fun. I know you always have tried to prep me. She's like, you don't know. Let me know when you're frustrated and upset. And it's like, yeah. But I'm just like having a really great time, just like doing all this stuff and everything. And so between that and, like you said, all the traveling and the preaching and the, it's been a crazy 2019. But like, as I come to the end of it, like, I just feel so blessed, like overwhelmingly blessed, super grateful.
I know what you're saying. The opportunities, and I know that God is blessing you. So I'm grateful. That's one thing when you can see somebody else's blessing and be happy for them.
Yeah.
So that's a good
man.
deal. That's that's good.
Yeah. Well, so this is probably an episode that has probably touched many people in many different ways because we opened really trying to deal with the hard stuff, right? As we always try to do. And so we recognize that as you celebrate Thanksgiving this year, there is a strong possibility that this holiday might bring back a lot of painful memories because of lost loved ones, loved ones who have chosen to leave, and loved ones who you wish would leave. And so
mercy,
there is a gamut, just a huge I guess pot of feelings that comes along with Thanksgiving. But I think one of the greatest things that we talked about today is just being able to find the beauty in the pain and just recognize that we are all carrying baggage. We are all carrying brokenness. We're all upset, and we are not always the hero in the story. There are times when you are the villain in somebody else's narrative. And so just be able to recognize that in the same way that you want someone else to change, and you want someone else to grow, and you want someone else to be better, and you want them to treat you better, you also need to be thinking and becoming more self-conscious and aware. What are the areas of growth that I need to focus on? What are the ways that I can be of better benefit to someone else so that I'm not the villain in your story? What are the ways that I can grow and do that to lessen the pain that is going on in your life? But I think one of the things that I love the most about what Carmela talked about earlier is just the ways that we can take the focus off of ourselves and put the focus back on other people. And the best way to do that is to serve. The best way that we can do that is to just get out of our own houses, get out of our comfort zones, and not just perpetuate that pain and that discomfort and dwelling on what somebody else did or what somebody said, but instead just taking the gaze off of our own feelings and recognizing that there are others who are significantly more or less fortunate than we are. And what are the ways that we can actually bless them and make them smile and bring them joy and happiness during a season that might be even more depressing and even more tragic because of their current condition. And then, of course, we were not joking about that. That is a very real challenge. Go out of your house. See if you've got that cousin or that aunt that makes those really good cookies, or some really good drink or something, and just go to your neighbor, say happy Thanksgiving, say hello, and take a picture and post it in the comments on our Facebook page, post it in the comments on our YouTube page, post it in the comment section underneath this episode so that we can meet you and we can meet your neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we just are so grateful that you wanted to take this time with us. And of course, make sure that you are following what Message Magazine is doing, because we started doing some amazing stuff in 2019, but you have not even seen the beginning of it. Okay. So we've got so much awesome stuff coming in the new year in 2020. And so just make sure you are subscribed to the magazine. You can subscribe at www.messagemagazine.com. That is messagemagazine.com. Subscribe to the magazine. And the latest magazine is actually going to be talking about a myriad of things, but particularly looking at prison reform. Right, Carmela?
Yeah. Well, like I said, our biggest issue, or the cover story, is Yusuf Salam. And I love the fact that he talks about that heart revolution. And that's what we're talking about. It's the heart revolution. You immediately want to come and react to the things in your environment, in your bad circumstances. But that's where the heart revolution comes in, where you're like, no, the revolution starts here. He starts out, the revolution will not be televised. He said, oh, no, I am the evolution of the revolution.
Wow.
So you got to pick it up. Message Magazine.
Yeah. And even thinking to that, it's like, if that man could find gratefulness and thanks in his heart while in prison, even wrongly accused, and still come to so many different spaces with the right attitude, right? Then how much more can we do the same, bringing the right attitude to our own families, even sometimes when we feel we've been wrongly accused, even though we feel like we've been treated badly, still have that attitude of gratefulness and thankfulness, and a revolutionary heart that is willing to just forgive and really just let the power of God just do a kind of healing and restoration in people that really is not possible at our own hands.
Yeah. Claudia, I think the one other thing that we have to remember is that we have plenty of people that want to be ministry partners with Message Magazine.
Absolutely.
And Giving Tuesday is the opportunity every year where you can give to a nonprofit organization such as Message Magazine to make a difference in the world. And we believe that Message makes a difference in many people's lives, not only by bringing a spiritual word of comfort and encouragement to them, but this is something that will enhance their lifestyle. Go to Giving Tuesday or hashtag Giving Tuesday, messagemagazine.com, where you can give and partner with us in the next year.
Right. And so make sure you are subscribed. You are following us on social media, on our website. Carmela, is there anything else we're doing they need to know about?
No. I'm just going to say, don't let your Thanksgiving turn into a Tyler Perry movie. If you can get away from that, you're good.
And on that note, this has been What's the Message with Carmela and Claudia. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. God love you.